Hey, this is Michael with XForcePC. I've got Austin here to show off the new F-14, which comes with X-Plane 12. It has been beautifully modeled, and he's going to show you that, and he's going to attempt a carrier landing. Now, do keep in mind that this is an X-Plane 12 Alpha, and you might see a flaw here or there, and just try to overlook that and know that it's probably going to be addressed before the final release. So without further ado, here's Austin.
Hey. Okay, so let's close that rendering screen. So here we are in the F-14 Tomcat for X-Plane 12. Mike, what do you think about when you think about F-14s, and tell the truth?
It's those guys playing volleyball.
It's shirtless men playing volleyball. Got it. All right, so that's what Mike Brown thinks when he thinks about the F-14. What I think about when I think about the F-14 is it's the height of complexity in fighter jets, right? We had the Century series jet, the F-100, series of jets, and they were kind of slow and underpowered. They could barely go supersonic. And then, of course, you have today's jets, which basically just fly by computer. They're almost magic. The F-14, it's this fascinating time in the middle when they were figuring out how to make these things just so fast, carry so much weight, have so much capability, but you had to totally work, to really use the thing to its full potential because they have all the complexity associated with doing it. So let's go ahead for a takeoff, and then we'll work our way down to a carrier and see if I can get this thing on the deck. So we'll lower some flaps here, and let's check out these engines. Here we go. Oh yeah. And then check on the effects here. And I'll bring this out of burner. Bring the burner back in. All the nozzles. So Jim Gregory is the guy that did this airplane, and he spared no attention to detail at getting this thing perfect. So check this out. Look at the landing gear, for example. Slats automatically coming down as I pull too much angle of attack. It extends the slats automatically. And it uses speed brakes to help it roll. Leveling off. See the forces, same as always. Look at that. And so the wing sweep is an automatic mode. There's a manual mode in there somewhere. And once you start getting up to Mach 0.9 or so, the wings start coming back to get out of the way of the shock wave and turn off the nose. All these forces are accurate. And now with these wings tucked in like this, we can start seeing an F-14 for what it really is. So what is an F-14? When we look at an F-14, we think it's like this, right? This is what your average human thinks of when he looks at an F-14. It looks like this. That's not really what an F-14 looks like. This is what the air sees as it hits the F-14. What the air sees is a radome, right? The bigger the radome on the nose of the airplane, the better it can see enemies. You want the big fuselage, that big radar dish up front. So what the air sees of an F-14 is a radome and some engine inlets, some air inlets. This is what the air sees behind it. It's basically two rockets and some weapons and some wings, right? This is what the air sees from a lift standpoint. It's a flying wing. And then this is what an F-14 actually is when you see it from beneath. It's a pair of engines. So what an F-14 really is a radome, air inlets, engines, weapons, and a flying wing. An F-14 is a flying wing. And this is what nobody thinks about when they look at an F-14, but aerodynamically, the designers are asking the question, how do we make this thing as fast, carry as much payload, go as far, and detect enemies as well as possible? That's the question they were asking, and the answer is what we have here. All right, let's make sure I don't run out of fuel. I did a oh good, yeah, we're fine. When I did my demo just now, we ran out of gas partway through. But when we ran out of gas partway through, it was no problem to restart the engines in the air, right?
Oh yeah, no problem at all.
And why can you not restart the engines of an F-14 in the air if you let them spin down too much?
There's no battery.
There's no batteries in the airplane. This airplane doesn't have any electrical batteries because they started on the ground with the ground power start, and they got generators keeping the electrical systems going in the air. And because of that, batteries are just not a thing they need. And this airplane has exactly what it needs, no more. It's a flying wing. All right, let's see if I can put this thing on a carrier. Let's get a quick map up. Oh, all right. I've gone slightly out of bounds there. All right, well, no problem. I'm gonna put the map here so I don't get lost. Yeah, and you can see some rendering problems with the terrain here, but that is worstable. Is that some power? That's something. Oh, okay. No, there it is. Oh, it just, okay, yeah, got it, okay. All right, so here we go. Let's put some light. Oh yeah, there we go. We're in a hurry. Oh, nice. Look at that. Sure, we'll do a pass. No. This airplane, I mean, it weighs something like 70,000 pounds or something like that. And so it builds up a tremendous amount of speed, but it takes some time to speed up and slow down. What we'll do is we'll buzz the carrier at Mach 2, and which you would actually do a real airplane for obvious reasons, including structural limits of the airplane. But then we'll circle it on around and try. And our clouds are still being worked on. Ben doesn't have the fog quite worked out the way he wants to. The clouds. Oh, there it is. Okay. Oh, yeah. Destructive power right now with this airplane is rather scary. Not just from a weapon systems, but freaking inertia, kinetic energy. This part always scares me when I make the carrier with as much kinetic energy. Oh man! Okay. All right. So let's cut this power, and we'll bring it on around. Easy. Look at that. There's nothing but kinetic energy carrying this up to this altitude. Okay. It's a little squirrely and roll, right? Because there's no roll damping with the wings tucked in. With the wings tucked in, it's like basically a lawn dart. All right. There we go. And we're going below sonic. As the wings come out. On this airplane. Okay.
You're right next to the carrier.
Yeah, I'm right over it. So I'm going to extend my downwind here just a little bit. Zoom in. Okay. Oops, and you can tell we've gone up above sonic. Oh, let's get in the cockpit just for a moment here. We got to do that. And so You know, all of the detail, you know, the throttles and, you know, the landing gear. And when Jim Gregory is the guy that modeled this, I mean, he's down to like the emergency gear down where you turn and pull, and the emergency, you know, hook, stuff that's automatic. You go into manual modes, you know, the flaps, the speed brakes, everything here is just like the real airplane. Yeah, and we still got plenty of fuel. We see the fuel here. Oh yeah, okay, let's head on back over. Oh, they can, okay, here we go. Yeah, we'll do that so you can see the map. All right. Well, y'all don't have to see the map too much because I'm the one that's got to get us to the carrier, right? Okay, so so you got all these old school instruments. Okay, so we should be leveling out more or less. Oh, there, there it is. Okay, so there's a carrier, kind of conveniently located. Here we are. Look at that model. Okay. So I'm going to show you all the things that it does. We're getting the gear out when we're going so fast that our wings are partially retracted. That was an overspeed on the gear, I'm sure. All right, and then check out the speed brakes. Look at that. Bring flaps. Look at that, you can see right through the airplane. You can see right where the speed brakes go through. All right, let's see if I can figure out how to get the hook down here. I think that's here. Come on, there we go. Okay. All right, slightly off course, that's fine. Okay, so now I've got myself, whoops, okay, there's a little error in how the exhaust came out of the engines just now. So that's a little bug. I thought that was maybe supposed to get that. All right, so I'm gonna fly my approach with the speed brakes out. Oh, and you can see the hook down. So we got hook down, gear down, flaps down, and speed brakes out. So why would I fly an approach with the speed brakes extended? Why would I do that?
Slower the better.
No. You get too slow, you're going to stall and fall into the back of the carrier. So we've got a speed we want to fly. We don't want to get too slow. Here's what it is. These engines take a long time to spool up. These are somewhat older engines, from like the 70s or so.
You realize you're going too slow.
Yeah, exactly. But what it really is, this is going to let me fly the approach with the engines already spooled up. All right, we get this carrier. The engine's already spooled up.
Come left.
And with the engines already spooled up, I'm not in this situation where the engines are barely turning. I have to add fuel to spool it up, and I just over-temp the engine without getting any thrust. So having the drag already out there lets me fly the approach with the engine spooled up and ready to go.
Call the ball.
You're seeing a little bit of our new water here in our new clouds, but our
heading
new clouds are clearly not done. I don't like the way some of
left.
those clouds are a little pixelated in the background. That's another little thing we're going to do.
Come left.
Now, somehow, the actual F-14 pilots flew it like this. I'm going to do it this way so I can see what I'm doing. All right, here we go.
Power.
I got the landing signal officer screaming at me in the lower right. I'm overpowered and high. Great. All right, let's get the power out. There we go. And so the goal is to hold that velocity vector on your touchdown. How people operate off of aircraft carriers as successfully as they do is simply beyond me.
Power.
Because, I mean, I'm barely... Oh, boy, I said a lot of waves. Look at the water. Okay.
Power.
Oh, okay. Do we... Yes! Okay. Good. There we go. Okay, so... Oh, wow. Look at that shot. Look at that. And then brakes on. Okay. So, at any rate, yeah, look how terrible that helicopter looks up, you know, off the edge. Right, this is the old X-Plane 11 aircraft carrier. We're doing a new aircraft carrier for X-Plane 12, and we just haven't gotten it in yet. It's still being worked on by the artist. So this is the old X-Plane 11 carrier, which hasn't been upgraded yet, but will be. So it's kind of interesting to me looking at the old X-Plane 11 carrier with the new clouds and water. But the carrier is going to be up to a higher level as well when we get the new one in. And I've seen screenshots. It's being worked on now. And my airplane's kind of sliding around on the deck a little. Looks like I need to work on the landing gear friction just a little bit. But, yeah, so anyway, there's a quick look at the F-14. And it's kind of cool when you really get into all of the dynamics of the speed brakes and the wing sweep and the flaps and the direct lift control, where the speed brakes adjust themselves to manage approach to the carrier. It's just a whole lot of awesome systems that can be brought to bear to really, really deploy hardware. And we're working on the weapons just a little bit to make sure that they're up to the job.